Good afternoon. My name's Tabitha Binding. I work for Timber Development UK as Head of Education and Engagement. And today we're at BEST in Scotland to launch our Interdisciplinary University Design Challenge 2023. It's a huge challenge. Retrofit is essential. It's not easy. It's far more challenging than new build, and it takes a team of knowledgeable, caring professionals to accomplish schemes that work. We need our future professionals to understand the complexity and embrace the constraints and challenges. Timber Development UK and our partners never shied away from a challenge, and so this year we are pleased to announce that Timber Development Challenge 23 will tackle the improvement and reuse of existing buildings. The team challenge is to design, engineer and cost a retrofit scheme for an existing timber frame building that requires a second life. It's the old cricket pavilion in Hereford. And I'm just showing you an image of it here, but all participants will be provided with a SketchUp design file and all the measurements so that you can work from the same place. So we're inviting students and 2022 graduates to register to participate, and then we'll enable teams of 4 to 8 members to form, and they'll include architects, architectural technologists, engineers, landscape architects, quantity surveyors, and project managers. We will run a series of webinars with professionals at 6 p.m. on Tuesday nights throughout November, from the Climate Challenge and Retrofit to the NMITE standard, the AECB standard, and retrofit detailing for a timber frame. And from the 1st of December, teams will receive software packages and workshops. Our draft timetable will be Timber Talks in January. The challenge will close on the 11th of April, which is just after Easter. We'll announce the shortlist on the 1st of May. And then in late May or early June, we'll go for a live final at NMITE. And of course, there are cash prizes, as well as all the knowledge that you will learn as you go along. We're working with partners, Edinburgh Napier University, BEST, where we are today, NMITE, the Passivhaus Trust, and the AECB. So I'm going to hand over to our partners to introduce themselves and say a few words. Kirsty Connell-Skinner from Edinburgh Napier University.
Thank you, Tabitha. I'm Kirsty Connell-Skinner. I'm the Sustainable Construction Partnerships Manager at Edinburgh Napier University, and we're delighted to support the 2023 Timber Design Challenge. As the home of the difference makers, Edinburgh Napier is really keen to see ways that students who are learning can engage fully with industry as part of real-life experiences throughout their education and their degrees. And this competition is a fantastic example of how our next generation of built environment professionals can do so. Edinburgh Napier University is also unique in Scotland, and it is host to a Trimble Technology Lab. Trimble are a NASDAQ listed software and hardware company who deliver fantastic solutions for civil engineering, including programs like SketchUp and other means of and equipment for civil engineering. We're particularly happy to work with Trimble through this competition to offer every student who participates access to the Trimble suite of software to help you develop your designs and ideas for the competition. Also at Edinburgh Napier University, we have the HCI, the Housing Construction and Infrastructure Skills Gateway, which will continue to support this fantastic competition through sponsoring some of the webinar content that you'll be able to see in the next few weeks' time that Tabitha mentioned. And on that webinar content, I'm really delighted to hand over to my colleague Katrina Jordan from BEST.
Hey everyone, my name is Katrina Jordan and I head up retrofit programs here at BEST. And we have been developing a retrofit program which we focus on 4 key areas: championing best practice for retrofit, supporting Scotland in achieving zero carbon through the built environment, through becoming hopefully a national centre of excellence for deep retrofit, to enable the industry to come up with retrofit solutions and en masse and at scale, and also to provide the industry with training and skills in regards to low carbon construction.
One key area of focus for us is adopting that whole house deep retrofit approach, so applying the either AECB standard or the NRFIT standard, and using key guidance like the LETI guide and PAS 2035. We have a whole suite of learning modules on our LMS platform, and in the presentation, which I'm sure will be shared, is the links to our website, and the learning content there covers introduction to passive house standards, deep retrofit, through to fabric and structure covering mass timber, sustainable insulation, excuse me, carbon accounting, and much more. We have also worked with John Gilbert Architects and Glasgow School of Art in developing an online immersive learning module named Nidri Road, which is a project of tenement housing block in Glasgow, and how they have approached a full NRFIT standard on that project. And this immersive learning allows you to step into the environment and click on key hotspots and understand the decisions made for the choices within deep retrofit. These can all be accessed on our LMS platform, and we also deliver passive house and retrofit practical training sessions here at the centre. Thank you. Thank you, Katrina. So our colleagues from the Passivhaus Trust who are working with unfortunately cannot be here today, as they are down in Exeter at their own conference. Retrofit, the sheer scale of this task is huge. We need 500,000 simultaneous retrofits to take place to achieve our goals of getting to net zero by 2050. That's 35 seconds to complete each retrofit. So NMITE and the AECB standards are space heating demand standards. They're far more than that, but I'll let you, Sarah, explain a little bit more about it from her very windy, wet home in Scotland.
Hello and welcome to the student competition from the UK Passivhaus Trust. My name's Sarah Lewis, I'm Research and Policy Director at the UK Passivhaus Trust, and we are delighted to be partnering on this competition and really delighted to be able to be here today, even if just by video link. We would be here in person doing this live, but unfortunately when you're watching this video, we will be delivering a masterclass on swimming pool and leisure centre design meeting the Passivhaus standard. So hopefully this pre-recorded video is a nice introduction all the same. So you might be wondering why I am standing outside today doing this video. I'm in Scotland, it is raining and it is about 4 or 5 degrees. But I wanted to be able to show you this NRFIT project, which is my own home, and it's just to show you that NRFIT's not that hard. We did this as a bit of a self-build project. And while it's sort of 5 or 6 degrees outside right now, inside the house, it's a balmy 21 degrees and we've not yet had the heating on. So that's what NRFIT is able to deliver. We're heating our house largely by the internal gains, and which is the people and appliances in the building, and through solar gains when the sun does come out, which it does on the east coast of Scotland. So we will be lucky if we get some sun later today and keep the house nice and warm. But the house is staying at 21 degrees and we've not had the heating on yet this year. So that's really great. I know this is just to be a short introduction, so I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the Trust. So we're a non-profit organisation and we support the uptake of Passivhaus and its methodologies in the UK, and we support practitioners and students who are looking to deliver projects to the Passivhaus standard. And in the sort of climate emergency in which we're living, it is so critical that students are empowered with this knowledge on how to deliver these buildings, because these are the buildings which will be creating it's getting windy, creating climate justice and the sustainable world that we need in the future. Okay, I'm going to go back inside the Passivhaus building now because it's getting a little bit blustery and rainy outside, and hopefully you will see the difference as we go inside of how nice the environment is inside the building. So that's us inside now. And you can see a complete difference to how you can't feel the warmth, I can feel the warmth, but just the quality of the sound. As we close the door to the outside, we get a completely different acoustic environment inside, which is one of the other really nice things about Passivhaus. I'm looking after my 2 children today. You can't actually see them on the video, but they are running around on the tiled floor in their bare feet, because even without heating on or underfloor heating, everything in the passive house envelope stays nice and warm. So I really hope you guys enjoy this introductory opening session to this competition, and we're really looking forward to working with you all as you look towards developing up your ideas and thoughts for how you can retrofit this building that is in the competition for to make it fit for the future. So we will see you again on, I think it's the 15th of November, and we'll really look forward to meeting some of you then. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. So we're also being working in partnership with the AECB, and unfortunately Trish could not make it to Scotland, and Duncan has been dragged off by somebody here to give another talk. So, but the AECB will come back and talk to us on the evening of the 22nd about what the AECB is. So it's the Association for Environment Conscious Building, what they do. So they bring together contractors, tradespeople, self-builders, architects, designers and engineers, because they want a better world. They've been running retrofit for at least the last 30 years, if not more. They have several building standards, which again, they will come back and talk to us about. They do water standards, daylight standards, and lifetime carbon. And you will, as a participant, get access to the AECB carbon tool. So you will work in SketchUp with it, and which links into Design PH, which also then links into the AECB carbon tool or PH ribbon. So the software all joins together. The AECB's main offerings are the Carbon Light course, and I must admit, you definitely hugely recommend it, a coordination course, and the certification of buildings, along with bespoke short courses and CPD training, which Catriona mentioned, and that you will get access to via the BEST website. They also advise government and contribute to research and work with local authorities, and obviously students and our current and future professionals. And they can be contacted via training at theaecb.net. And now I'd like to hand over to Robert Hairstands of NMITE.
Thank you very much, Tabitha. And NMITE are again delighted to be collaborating on this university challenge. So just a bit of background, NMITE is a startup higher education institute which is based in Hereford, as it happens, which is also on the border of Wales. As this new venture has now become established, the purpose of it is essentially to change the landscape of learning in terms of engineering and technology. And in that regard, the educational approach is very much about hands-on, practical-based learning experiences. So working on this challenge does very much chime with the mission of NMITE as an organisation. Within NMITE, and my role is around the establishment of something called the Centre for Advanced Timber Technology, hence the close working relationship with Timber Development UK. And the purpose of that really is to stimulate collaboration across the industry, both vertically, seed to end product, and horizontally across architecture, construction, and using such things as digitalisation. And the premise of this really is to act as a common theme, together with showing a wider audience how rewarding a career in timber can be, as we look to shape the future of the built environment and change the trajectory of it such that it has a much more sustainable purpose. So again, this competition very much resonates with the strategic approach of CAT and how we can deliver the future built environment more sustainably. And that, of course, includes the existing building stock, which is of critical importance given how much it contributes to the climate crisis. So in terms of CAT, it has indeed a physical presence also, which is in a living lab. And as Tabitha mentioned, what we'll hope to do, or what we will do, is bring the challenge teams to CAT, to the living lab, to experience it as part of this process towards the end of the challenge. Why is it a living lab? Well, what we've done is we've used advanced timber technologies to build it. It has studio space at the front and workshop space to the rear. It's a 2,500 metre squared purpose-built building for this alternative educational model. And it's formed, certainly the studio space is formed from cross-laminated timber, glue-laminated timber, and has embedded within it sensors to measure and monitor the building performance in order that we can correlate the actual performance of the building versus the predicted. So in a sense, it will be digitally twinned, and we can use that for contextual research work and feed that into the educational programme, which we are currently rolling out through our short courses in timber technology, engineering, design. So if you wish to find out more about those short courses, please look up our website and see how you can enrol. But NMITE in itself, in the Living Lab approach, is very much also not just based in Hereford, it's very much about partnership. And indeed, I still have a role at Edinburgh Napier University, and we're partnering closely with Edinburgh Napier University, which happens to host BEST as well. And of course, working closely with Timber Development UK, and indeed, as Kirsty previously mentioned, the Trimble Technology Lab. So it's very much about partnership, collaboration, and how we can shape the culture of construction towards the more sustainable forms. And that's very much at the heart of this in terms of a challenge, because the teams that will form are multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and will respond to a retrofit challenge in terms of how we can deliver the built environment approach better. So we very much look forward to your participation and for us to see what comes from the work that you undertake, in order that it can be showcased later in the year through the live event that we wish to host. So I'll hand it back to Tabitha.
Thank you, Robert. So we are, how can you join in, and where can you find out more? So Timber Development UK is the amalgamation of TRADA, which is the Timber Research and Development Association, and the Timber Trade Federation. And as of this month, we have a brand new website, which you'll see in front of you. And to find the challenges, scroll along the top screen till you get to education, press on challenges, and it will load up the 3 pages of previous 2 challenges. You will find out about what the participants learnt, what the outcomes were, and how they've gone on to be employed by industry, and are desired by industry, and in fact are chased across, platforms like LinkedIn, because they know how to talk to other disciplines, which is very rare. But if we are going to change construction, and we are going to do things that we need to do to get to net zero by 2050, then we need to break down those barriers and work together to do that. So on the screen now, you will have information about 2022 and how to sign up to the challenge. We will be across social media. Please sign up as individuals, and we will then help you form teams. I mean, what have you got to lose? Come and join in. Thank you very much.